Okay, the first ever CryptoBlock conference just wrapped, CBC 2017. We talked to Spencer Montgomery before he took the stage to kick it off, and Jeremy Gardner here just did the closing keynote, which absolutely crushed. Dude, you had like, the whole room was lined up to talk to you afterwards. Nice job.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about, what you came here to talk about?
Sure. A lot of people get very excited about the recent rise in crypto asset prices, especially just the past week or month, where you've seen the entire market explode. But what I'd like to do is, and what I attempted to do, is to try to explain how we got to this point. How did we get to this crazy fever pitch that we're in right now for crypto asset investing? And so I worked the audience through the evolution of blockchain technology, both as a tech and as an asset class.
And as your own personal journey.
And my own personal narrative.
Obviously, that's a really cool part, really cool story to hear. One of the things that really stood out, I thought, was, as the market expands, there's a total, the ethics code, ethics behind using the crypto markets and the blockchain, right? And you mentioned some ICOs now are more money grabs than anything, whereas it used to be more that entrepreneurs were purpose-driven and they wanted to have an impact. How can you balance that going forward as there's more mainstream media covering this?
It's so tough. I mean, the problem with open source money and value protocols is that they attract a lot of the wrong sort of people. They attract people that want to get rich quick. That's not what this technology is about. It's such a paradigm-shifting innovation of blockchain technology. And yet, when people just get frothy over the price, they're missing the much bigger picture. And as an industry, we have to self-regulate and make sure that people are actually understanding the technology they're investing in, the long-term value, and not expecting to just become a millionaire.
So who is the right type of person to get involved with this?
I think any young person. I mean, this industry could be as big as the World Wide Web. I mean, the applications are endless for this. So if you're young, you owe yourself at least a few hours dedicated to understanding this technology.
Now, within your personal, your own narrative, your story, what was the catalyst for you, just thinking this is gonna be my career?
I just fell into it. It was just I learned there were Bitcoin clubs around the world, started a nonprofit. The nonprofit took off kind of in its own right, and I started getting asked to speak at conferences. And then through my nonprofit, I met a brilliant young computer scientist, and we just sort of started a company together. And then in an unfortunate situation, I pretty much had to drop out of school or forego what I was doing in the crypto space, and I chose the crypto space. And so then at that point, my career kind of chose me.
Which seemed to be the right one.
Yeah, and I don't regret it.
Going forward now the mainstream media is starting to cover this more, and it is starting to blow up, and there's the explosion of ICOs. How do you see that impacting the general markets around the world, and do you see the New York Stock Exchange being a thing of the past at some point, or?
No, I think publicly traded companies and businesses and equity-based companies will exist for a very long time. But and many stock exchanges will move to blockchain or distributed ledger models. But what this technology enables is this new way for building companies and a new form of corporate and structural governance. And that's very exciting, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that traditional businesses as we see them today will be around for a very long time.
What are you most excited about for 2018?
I think the launch of Augur, which will be the first consumer-facing decentralized application, will be huge. If people adopt Augur and start using it, and to make bets, go and predict the future, and if Augur gives people a reason to go buy crypto and actually use it for the first time, that's super exciting. Especially because it's a way for them to earn more. If you're right, you get more crypto. And so I think it could be a massive catalyst for the greater adoption of crypto assets for consumption, not just investing.
And what's your take on CryptoKitties? That's been getting a lot of buzz.
I love it. I love CryptoKitties for the same reason I love Dogecoin. It makes people that otherwise wouldn't be interested in blockchain technology. And if it means congesting the network, so be it. It's a killer app. People are actually using Ethereum for an application.
Yeah, gamified adoption. Very cool. Is there anything else you want to leave viewers? You know, if they're thinking about, they've been watching the price, they might have a little bit, or they might not know anything about it, and they're curious about this market. Like, what do you say to someone there?
When Bitcoin went up to $30 from $2, everyone called it a bubble. And then it crashed down to $2 again, and people that invested at the top were called stupid. But the people that invested at $30 now look like geniuses. So cryptos can be both undervalued and in a bubble at the same time.
So you can still buy in now when it's high. It might crash,
Sure.
and then it might go up a ton.
But if it's successful, it'll be worth exponentially more than it is now.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure.
The talk was killer.
Thank
and
you.
where can people learn more about Augur and connect with you?
Augur.net and Google. Very easy
Google.
to find. I'm all over the interwebs.
Awesome.
Cool, man.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy.
My pleasure.